Hello, this is Angelo.
Hello, this is Alexandra.
And we are here with another review of the Unbreakable Business System and the Unbreakable Challenge. Today, we want to do something completely different. We will be speaking from our heart to yours for one reason alone. Because if you are still challenged in your mind, should I go with it? Should I not? How on earth will I improve my finances in this new game that we all have to play, this new set of rules after COVID, after 2 years of COVID, with a recession coming up in some sort of way? We don't know exactly when. Some people say we are already in a recession, and of course it depends on which country you are, but in any case, most businesses, most entrepreneurs, most employees who want to become entrepreneurs feel startled. They feel kind of frozen, to be honest.
Yes, they do.
And in order, Alexandra once said, I feel like I'm trying to move a mountain. And I replied, what? You don't want to move the mountain, you want to climb the mountain.
Yes, exactly.
And given the fact that we've all been through the Unbreakable Challenge and these 5 powerful days, I want to remind you something. Have you noticed that during the challenge, you felt way more empowered on one end and way more clear on where you want to go and more faithful that you will actually get there? Why is that? Why did you feel that? And maybe now that the challenge is over, you feel like you're kind of losing it back. Again, you're retracting back
to
the old beliefs and the old typical, let's say, level of emotional state.
Which is normal, right?
Which is normal for all of us. Why is that? This is because for 5 days, you resonated with people who are at or a higher financial level than where you want to go. And this is all it takes to resonate with people who have already been where you want to go, and to see that it is actually not only possible for you, but much more doable when you have a system and a map in place. Remember the GPS story, right? The GPS, what we were telling you about,
the LA story.
The hectic traffic in LA and all these spaghetti junctions and everything. But we had the GPS and we were carefree because we had something with us that knew how to get wherever it was that we want to go.
So a business system is like a roadmap, like a blueprint.
Basically, we have prepared, like all these notes that are from all these days that we've been through together. And we said with Alexandra, you know what? It's virtually pointless to go through our notes. Somebody can go. I mean, even if you're not a VIP, you can find, like notes and reviews on YouTube and everywhere. It's not about that. Our challenge today for you is to replicate that emotional state enough so that you can elevate your consciousness to the point that you can see what the next steps are for you. And if it is the Unbreakable Business System, great. We will be working together all year round on smashing your limiting beliefs, your financial limiting beliefs, on helping you to get much more clear on where you want to go financially and with your business, and applying the Unbreakable Business System enough in order to make it a habit for you and your business, your customer, your partners, and your employees.
Your new operating
This is
system.
what we will be doing with Alexandra. And now I have another challenge for you. I want you to see our caps, which, by the way, why are we wearing the hats? We were saying that from day one.
From day one, we are wearing the hats to show to ourselves and to each other that we have committed to a decision to 10x our business in 2023, despite any economic turmoil that might be going on.
Exactly. This is what, and the first thing that we will be talking about, of course, this is what an unbreakable mindset is. I am not going to decide. When we are sailing, we check up, we check on the weather to make sure we are prepared enough. That's it. We're not saying we are going to go to another island because the weather is this way or that way. This is the difference maker. All you need is to be good enough captain to take your boat, your business, where you want to go. This is why one of my favorite poems in the whole world is Invictus,
Yes,
which ends,
I love it.
I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. So this is the difference maker. When you feel this power within, you know you are unbreakable, not because the circumstances are fine, but because you are set. This is the game changer. This is why we say mindset. It's something that you set. And maybe you have let go of your mindset and it has been set from society. It has been set from the
From your
news.
family,
It has
from
been
your
set from your
teachers.
family and your lineage.
Yes,
It
yes.
has been set from neighbors who give you advice even though they have no idea what they're talking about. So all these things have to go away and it is time to get clear. This is why you want to systemize your operations. And the challenge that I
Yes.
was telling you about,
What is it?
I want you to look closely into our cups and I want you to replace the X with another zero. And it is not another zero in your end results. I'm not talking about 100x in your results. Just replace the X with another zero with your imagination. Okay, why did I ask you to do that? Because no matter what happens this year, you will truly love this year if you can honestly say to yourself that I played 100%.
Yes, exactly.
I gave my very
Exactly.
best. It is 31st of December 2023. I look myself in the mirror and I did my very best, like passionately. I got clear. I did zero drama, zero focus on things that do not serve me, zero focus on things that I cannot handle. I cannot,
Yes, I cannot influence.
I cannot influence.
Yes.
And I've put all my mighty forces on upgrading my mindset, upgrading my skill set, and applying all these things into a new way of doing business. And I got so far away. I mean, definitely it will be an upgrade, right? You don't know if it's going to be 10x, if it's going to be 2x, or even 50x. What you would know, though, is that you can look back and feel well about yourself,
Yes.
that you have truly put immense effort. And when we talk about effort, because it is one of our definitions of wealth, it does not mean more hours. It means becoming more effective. In
Yes.
fact, the more hours you're putting in your work without increasing your effectiveness, you will find out that the sloppier you get. It happened for us many times.
Many times, and especially at the beginning of our entrepreneurial journey, right?
Yes, for
And
sure.
I was working as an employee for many years in big multinational companies in the marketing department for 20 years, actually. And I decided I want to leave the corporate arena, and I said, now I will be an entrepreneur. I think you will resonate with this, with me, because I want my freedom, right? And I want more hours to be with my family and do the things that I love and all that things. And what happened finally, and I'm sure you've been going through this as well at some stages, especially at the beginning stages of your business, you start to burn the midnight oil. You're working in the evenings, you're working on the weekends. Your family and your friends think you're crazy that you gave up your job and you're pursuing this.
This is
right?
where the saying came from. You're becoming an entrepreneur to let go of these 9 to 5,
Yes.
these 8 hours, and
Yes.
start working for 16 hours.
Yes,
Of course,
exactly.
yeah.
I think all of us in the entrepreneurial boat are going through this, especially at the beginning. And it's exactly what Angelo said. So we have to learn to be smart thinkers, smart business people, use systems, use models, find people who have already succeeded, are ahead of you, and I want you to show you the way. Every time we have used mentors and programs and coaching programs, every time we have managed to collapse time, right?
Exactly.
And get there faster. And it is so important because at the end of the day, time, as everybody mentioned also in the challenge, is the number one most valuable asset. All humankind wants to have more time to do things we love, to be with our family, with our friends, to contribute, and all those wonderful things. And that's why we start on an entrepreneurial days. I say this and I get emotional, right?
Course,
because this
course.
is the why.
By the way, just because Alexandra said that right now, I didn't plan to say this, but the number one step, especially if you feel that you are, like in kind of crossroads right now, the number one step always is to define, because we get so many, like input from social media and from life at large. The number one thing you want to do is to define what success means to you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it might be okay for you to let some bucks go. Okay, you have to know this. Some people, it's all about their net worth. All right. This morning, I had like an hour at the beach swimming and brainstorming for my business. This, if I was, like making sales calls, whatever, or calling customers, for business upgrades, maybe I would have increased my revenue today. But sometimes you have to know what truly is a part of what we like to call your super life. And I remember always Napoleon Hill saying the 12 parts, the 12 points of the definition of wealth. Number one for him was positive mental attitude.
So
and number
yes.
12, the last one, was financial abundance, monetary financial abundance. So it is always very important to remember what success means to you and have that definition and protect that definition. For me, another point in terms of my wealth is my emotional state. I feel wealthy when I am happy. So if I invest time in strengthening what we like to call our emotional fortress, so that, because as we've said many times before, challenges will happen in life. So for me, something that matters to me is how fast can I go from anger back to happy, from irritation back to happy, from sad back to happy, from stressed back to happy. And I invest time, energy, and mind and money on that. For some other people, they don't mind. If I make money and I am stressed, I'm fine.
Yes, it depends
so
on your
it depends
personality.
on your definition of success. Know where you're going, because this is the best way for us to help you get there. There's no right or wrong here. What truly matters, though, and this is why me and Alexandra, we are going all in at the Unbreakable Business System, is the system itself in terms of taking your business to the next level.
Right. Exactly.
We will be helping you a lot if we work together. If you decide to invest in the program and get our bonuses as well, remember that we will be helping you a lot on the journey. Make sure that your journey is as happy and as light as possible. Because, by the way, this is the fastest way to get there anyway.
Exactly.
So,
and now that you mentioned it, I just want to share with you all that if you are thinking about getting the Unbreakable Business System, you see the clock here. There is still some time left to decide.
Less than 40 hours.
Less than 14 hours. The card closes February 3rd in the evening. So think about it. Decide what you want to do. If you've already joined, congratulations.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Yes. Congrats. And as Anthony Morrison said, just signing up, of course, doesn't do anything for you. You can start going through the program itself. It is for me, it is gold. It gives me clarity.
Yes.
And not only that, from the very first module on money mindset, right? I get so many realizations with, how we evolved, like in our childhood and
yes.
I mean, how many wrong things we picked up along our way, and it makes it harder and harder for us now to change, to make all
Yes,
these changes,
especially
right?
if you didn't have any successful entrepreneurial stories from your family or people
Exactly,
around you, right?
exactly.
Which is the case for most of us.
And money
So,
management, anything,
yes,
anything that
yes.
has to do with higher, let's say, being in a higher state financially
Yes.
in terms of how you handle wealth. I remember we were at a T. Harv Eker seminar. At some point, he said an amazing
So many
story,
years ago,
an amazing story about a girl who asked her dad for an ice cream, right? And she said, you know, I want like 2 flavors. And her dad said, no, you cannot handle 2 flavors. You're eating it very slowly, and you know the ice cream will melt, and you will lose the whole thing, you know. And of course, the girl was like, "No, I want the
I
two
want the
flavors," you know.
girl.
Okay. And sure enough, as they leave the ice cream store and they walk like less than a block, right? The ice cream has already melted and everything falls down. And the girl, of course, now is without any flavor, right? No ice cream. So the girl has another tantrum and now asks for what? For 2 flavors again. How many flavors should her dad buy her this time? And the answer is 1 flavor because she cannot handle more.
Exactly.
And by the way, this is why it is said that so many people win the lottery and then lose not only the money they've won, but even more than that, a few years later. And in fact, they are less happy than before winning the lottery. Why is it all that? Because you've been given things that you cannot handle.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes life can have like a positive or negative firework for you, like something that is out of proportion with your belief system. So you might have a great day or a great year and get a bonus. And then when you cannot replicate that, or you cannot handle this extra amount of money that comes into your life, then you have an issue. This is where you get in trouble, you know, when you have a good year and you go buy a Lambo and you
Yes.
didn't even think about the operating costs of a Lambo or a yacht, right? And I remember we were watching
What?
it was a documentary on Monaco.
Yes.
And it was one of these he's a very known, one of the best known yacht brokers in the whole world. And back when I was an employee, at some point, I even wanted to work for his company. This is how mesmerized I was with his company. But he said, we do not let our customers invest in a yacht more than 10% of their net worth.
So
And I thought,
what's
why?
he talking about? Yes, why?
You're putting a
Sell more
limit on
boats.
your.
Yes.
He's doing it because he knows that how wrong people can go with these things. So he's going for the long run. He's not going for an extra million today.
Yes.
He's going for extra hundreds of millions in years to come. And when you keep your clients satisfied, and when you have, let's say, in terms of not control, but coaching them and guiding them in a sustainable growth, and where you say, okay, I've had this big win, but this is not something that I can replicate. So I better not spend every single penny, you know, like on jewelry and travel and everything. Be conscious about your growth. This is for me the most important thing about money mindset, because many times when you're not succeeding financially in terms of your earning power, some people say, and you say, okay, how is that even possible, right? And people say, it is very easy to make money. It is much harder to keep that money.
Exactly.
Right? Or make that money work for you so that you can increase your passive income. The income, this is what Grant says, right? I am not spending a penny from my earned income. I am investing it in real estate mostly, right?
And I live from my passive income.
Exactly. Now, this is money that I can use, right? Because this is from my earnings.
Yes.
And this, again, or another thing, okay, let's ask Alexandra now how she felt the very first time, and I want her to be very honest. We are live right now. So, how did you feel the very first time you heard Grant say, and mean it,
Yes.
go broke at least once a year?
Okay, panic mode. Immediately.
Of course!
Panic mode. Panic mode, because he said, don't keep the cash, because then you have to pay lots of taxes. That was his point. That was his premise. But then, what I do January 1st, I'm running so fast to get new business because I'm broke. Right? But of course, he's invested, and he doesn't mean give everything away. He means give the cash away. But in the meantime, he's living off passive income generated from other streams of income.
Exactly.
Listen, what I wanted to add to the discussion here is the following. If you think about it, I'm sure, because it happens to everybody, we've been in this market and in this game for many years with Angelo, and it has happened to us also many times. Has it happened ever to you that you make some money and then somehow you drop back again, and then you try to push through a new goal and you barely reach it, or you reach it and then you go back again, and you have this? This means there are some glass ceilings, right? What the mentor says.
Invisible.
They're invisible, but they're very powerful. Why? Because they are created from our minds. This is what Grant Cardone says in the money mindset part. The asset and liability list of our business starts with our own mindset. That's why in the Unbreakable Business System, the first module is dedicated entirely to money mindset.
Yeah.
Which is, for me, many people might say, oh, all these mindset things and woohoo. No, it's not woohoo, because if you go deep and if you look back to your history and your financial history and track record, you will see there are always some limits that you either manage to hit and break through. Some of them, yes, but some of them, no. And why is that? Because some belief, which is deep-rooted, is keeping you behind. And this is exactly the work that has been done first and foremost. It is so important.
Okay, now I've just had like a spontaneous question again to demonstrate that the distinction and the changes that need to happen in mindset. Let's just say that Grant had an amazing year, and for some reason he realized, you know what, I've been working so hard, I'm gonna take my family and friends, whatever, and I'm going to go for 3 months around the Greek islands, enjoy myself. I don't know why I got this idea, but I want to do it for 3 months. And you know what? I want Alexandra now to be the CEO, the captain of this boat. Will Alexandra have like the courage, the faith, the conviction? The remaining team is exactly the same, right? Can Alexandra convince people to go for another billion in real estate? No. Because she is not set where Grant is. And sometimes this might make us feel bad, right? Oh, I want this, but I can't have it, and so on. No. What you want to be focusing, and this is very important, is to be accurate with your point of reference, where you are now.
Yes.
Because the GPS can tell you where you want to go. The GPS can tell you exactly what to do, as long as you have an accurate point of reference right now. So we were sailing at some point, and we had the GPS, but apparently the GPS was wrong, completely messed up. And of course, we are fortunate enough that we are now in the 21st century, and we can also use the map that we had on our smartphones. But what truly matters is that at night, we moored in a very secluded island in the middle of the Aegean, in the middle of nowhere. It was us and the stars, right? And as we were moored and we were having, like pasta and wine and everything, the GPS was still on. And I noticed that the GPS was showing us like about 50 feet, all right, on the shore. Not
with the sailboat.
With the sailboat, right? So we were not at sea. We were not moored like 50 feet away from the beach. We were 50 feet on the shore. So the GPS was wrong, right? And if you have this wrong, it is virtually impossible for you to draw a line between where you are
Yes.
and where you want to
Yes.
go. And remember, this is very important because our ego sometimes does not let us to face the exact magnitude of our wrongdoing. Oh, I'm doing better than last year, or I will get through this, and so on. This is not about, like, even when we say motivating ourselves and have like a carrot and a stick in the equation to help us move forward, it does not mean sugarcoating our state, our current state. So let's just say that you are like $50,000 in the red right now, right? This does not mean that you need to put like a few more words in that. I remember Jim Rohn saying, I have this little box because I don't want your excuses.
Just
So
tick the box.
you might say, yes, I'm right now I am in debt for 50, bad debt, right? What matters? I am in bad debt for $50,000, but I think I can do something about it. No, we just want a number. We want accuracy. Some people say brutal honesty. It's not about being brutal. It's about being accurate. It's about knowing exactly where you are, knowing exactly where you want to go, and choosing the best possible vehicle.
Exactly.
This is the only thing that matters.
No drama. Finances are easy to be very simple with because it's pure numbers, right?
Right.
So it's not serving to dress everything with emotional charts, right? Like, oh, I have this bad debt. Oh, I didn't manage to get my goal. And no need for drama. It's okay. Everybody has been through this on the business journey, right? This is the situation right now. I acknowledge it. I acknowledge the lessons from the past so I don't make the same mistakes. And from now on, for example, I will copy other successful people who have already achieved what I want to achieve. Or I identify that I need to learn these business skills, and now I will learn these business skills to unlock the next level of success for our business. No drama, math, finances are math. It's easy to not attach drama if you don't want to carry on with drama because it's simply not serving us also. Fantastic.
Okay.
So let's have another look here at the clock.
Yes.
Because the clock is ticking.
Right.
Right? If you have not yet onboarded the Unbreakable Business System, you can scan this QR code right here, or you can click on the link below. The card is closing Friday night, midnight, February 3rd. So there are just like 14 hours and something left to really decide if you want to go for this, right?
That's
Time
right.
is pressure, but time is also money, right?
So I made this drawing because this is from one of my mentors in terms of what I like to call my methodology for life. And it is from David Hawkins, who created this chart. This is like not only the emotional chart, but also the consciousness chart. And it goes from 0 to 1,000. And I'm going to simplify it now because there is one very important reason why I'm saying this. Because you see this pie chart here. As you see below, I have a V. This stands for victim attitude. And unfortunately for humanity, the magnitude in terms of population that fits into every single compartment is basically the other way round, unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
For so many people.
Yes.
So you have literally billions of people in what we call victim attitude.
Well, we've all done
when
it,
you
right?
are why am I saying this now? So let me give you the reason why am I saying this. Because Alexandra said you have so many hours about, like enrolling in the Unbreakable Business System. Most people will not even hear it, will mock it. They don't know what it is. They don't know who is selling it. They don't know even the background of Grant Cardone, his business. They're mocking it. They're mocking Grant. They're mocking his team. They're mocking, his affiliates and so on. And you know what? This is what we call, unfortunately, again, crab mentality, which means that people will feel more happier and more empowered, not uplifting themselves, but pulling the other people down.
The ones that try to do something better, right?
And by the way, many of you who will take on this journey. Whether you invest in the Unbreakable system or not, it doesn't really matter. I know when I look at you right now, it's impossible, but when we have like live seminars or Zoom seminars, when I see people's eyes, I realize immediately how many people say, you know what, even if I get the Unbreakable Business System and it is completely empty inside, right? There's some sort of error in the server, all the files are burned down and it's nothing. I'm going to crush it this year. Because it's your heart telling it, not your mind. It's complete game changer. This is how big games are won from small teams, right? So this is the game-changing attitude to get away. If you're here, get away from this victim attitude. Let go of your excuses. Realize that your excuses satisfy your mind, but not your soul. Your soul is hungry every single day because you know where you want to go. You have a vision and you keep it there.
Yes. And
you keep it as a vision.
You wouldn't be going through the whole challenge, right?
Exactly.
And watching this video.
Exactly.
You know deep inside, there is something bigger I need to do. There's something bigger I want to do. I long for growth. I long for contribution. And those are fundamental human needs, right? So really respect yourself enough to leave this victim area. It is not serving you. It's not serving
many
anybody.
People also reside in this second compartment, which GG stands for go getter.
Yes,
it is
so many entrepreneurs.
It is sometimes you feel, like empowered, like I burned the midnight oil, as Jim Rohn used to say, for a month, and I doubled my income and so on. But you will find at some point that this is not sustainable.
Yes.
Again, because you're not relying upon a system, you're relying upon your effort, and at some point you will feel that you cannot go further, right? And now this green F and this green arrow points where you want to be. And F stands for flow. In the state of flow, things happen that you cannot even understand how on earth they did happen.
And how fast.
And not only that, there is an emotional equivalent to a state of flow, because a state of flow is basically a mental state. But the emotional equivalent of the state of flow is happiness. This is why I care so much about my happiness. This is why I call my number one goal unconditional happiness. Okay, in the past, if someone would buzz the horn, and in Greece it happens a lot, okay, we will have an argument for like 5 minutes, okay, which is also very common in Greece. You forget about the job that you have to do right now and you're late to go to work. And you start, this argument about, who was right and who, did this, that, or the other. So when you are in a state of happiness and at the same time in the mental state of flow, you see things differently. And what do I mean by that? We keep with Alexandra ourselves a lot on that state. And it was pretty apparent from day zero, not day one, that we are investing in the program, that we are going all in with the program,
from our one.
that we are investing our 10x on grant. Because when we said 10x, when we said we are going to add another zero to our business, Grant showed up in our lives we knew Grant, right? But he appeared in a more emphatic way. Our attention shifted toward Grant. And not only that, his system also appeared.
As if out of nowhere, right?
If me and Alexandra were in a victim attitude state, that we were like 10 years ago, that things weren't working for us because we were new in this game of entrepreneurship, and we were trying to find ways to feel better by putting the blame on the government, on the capital that we didn't have, on our relatives who decided to be employees and not business people so that we can have an easier journey. And so all these things, this is what we call about victim attitude. And it might make you feel bad, but remember what I said before. It's not about brutal honesty. I'm not being brutal right now. I'm being what? Accurate. I want to be accurate. I want you to be accurate with your point of reference. so that you know where you are, you know where you want to go, and you can chart a course and say,
Exactly.
that's it, I'm getting there.
Exactly.
So, that said, I believe that you know by now we've been talking about money mindset for over half an hour.
Yes, but it is so
On
crucial.
top of all the other discussions we've had these days. This is an endless subject, but at some point, all in all, what truly matters is what your heart is telling you, where you want to go. And when I met Grant back in November, immediately the thing I immediately fell in love with his attitude. Immediately, this is what you call truly love at first sight. Not, I didn't fall in love with Grant. I fell in love with his attitude. Because when he said, go, we're going there, he means we are going there. Nothing else. So he only has one thing in mind. What they call the target, what we love to call our destination.
Yes.
This is about it. And when you clear all the other noise out of the way, things happen faster and easier for you. And this is also the first part of the system, right? To have this incredible focused money mindset.
Exactly.
So,
it's the foundation of everything.
Next.
And it's the foundational pillar of a successful unbreakable business.
Absolutely.
Right? So next pillar is marketing.
Marketing.
Of course, I can talk about marketing forever. I studied marketing. I love marketing. All my life I've been working in marketing. It is so fundamental. If you do not have enough attention for your business, from the marketplace to your business, then you do not have a business. It is very simple, right? And that's why in Grant Cardone's offices, there is the marketing room. What is the sign in the marketing room? Because Angelo was there.
Promote.
And then promote
the three most important things with marketing.
Yes.
So,
right?
Not only that, but also I remembered now that Dean Graziosi is saying that all the time. If you build it, they will not come.
Yes, it's an illusion.
And not only that, I am proof of that. I was so focused on creating and what I like to call an amazing product, but I'm not going to buy my product, right? And if I do, I only have one customer. So what truly matters is to get in contact with your ideal client, your ideal customer. And that requires what? Marketing.
Exactly.
Putting yourself, putting your product in the marketplace enough so that enough people can become your customers and satisfy your financial goal and your value goal, right? Because this is a two-way street. You give value to the marketplace, you get remunerated. And sometimes the rules are not so clear. This is why you have to clarify the rules for you and your business. Let me remind you the ChatGPT example, right? It got a valuation of 20 billion with a B
within 2 months.
in virtually a month.
It's a baby. It
right?
was born in November 22.
Why? Because ChatGPT is giving right now to the marketplace something that the marketplace craves.
Yes.
Everybody is hooked with AI and where we are going with artificial intelligence. And you have lovers of AI and haters of AI. You know, it's going to ruin humanity. No, it's going to help us do great things.
So many discussions, right, are going on right now.
Who wins? ChatGPT.
Exactly.
ChatGPT is the winner of this polarizing state. What is Grant doing? Polarizing his audience.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes, what was it when he said?
He said with haters.
Yes, in one of the days.
First of all, when he said something, he said, "Okay, now the haters are going to love this." So he knows he has haters, right? Yeah. A and B. He said, "It's okay. I know that the more I succeed, the more haters I will have." He actually went also to say that if you do not have enough haters, you're not reaching enough level of success yet. And this was really breakthrough because so many people, especially in this digital world that we are living in with social media, when they get some negative feedback, I'm not saying not even hate, but negative feedback, they're like, ooh, cringy, right? I don't like it. What should I say? Should I say? Should I not say? No, it's okay. It's good to have polarization. It means your brand, your business gets attention. Now you can jump in the discussion and talk with everybody. And what happens? This is marketing for your business.
Exactly.
Right?
And also now, as you were talking, I remembered what Michael Beckwith said one day, that nobody attacks a couch potato, right?
Right, exactly.
So
exactly.
the more success you have, the more crabs will try to bring you down, and the more Ramores will be swimming next to you. And
it's okay.
if you don't know what a remora is, because we found that out from a movie actually, and we searched it on, and it is true, right? It's a small fish that swims next to the shark, so that can eat the spoils effortlessly. And if you're satisfied with the spoils, and you can have, like your fun or your money with Grant's success or me and Alexandra's success and so on, so be it. But if you want to be a shark, if you want to achieve like the pinnacle of your potential, then you need to focus on creating impactful marketing. Of course, you will put the details, of your attitude and the qualities and the values of your brand and so on. But at the same time, you want to be loud in a very, 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 very noisy marketplace.
Yes, exactly.
So
exactly.
it's not like loud, right? Because loud, if you go to a concert, it's loud, right? I've left a rock concert and my ears were hurting.
Yes.
But it was one frequency, right? So if you go to a James concert that I love, right, or whatever, it's everybody singing, like at the same frequency, same song, everything resonates. So imagine all your cells resonating with the frequency of the success that you desire.
Exactly.
Now imagine, like, as you have like 15 trillion cells, you might imagine having like 1 million conversations in there. Some cells saying, we're gonna get smashed this year. Some saying we're gonna break even. Some saying we're gonna rocket this year. And this is what happens in your mind, basically, if you do not become the captain of it. If you do not say, this is where we're going. And once you get your mindset right, the first step that we said, and you know where you want to go, then you get even more clarity on your marketing.
Yes, so, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. The changes that need to be made. Me and Alexandra realized, and by the way, at the very beginning of our digital agency, we were doing the same mistake our clients were doing, and we couldn't even see it. And we were asking ourselves, how can our potential clients cannot see the mistake they're making? And by the way, I think Grant said about making a similar mistake in the beginning of his business. So you invest a lot of money to create a fancy website, and back then it was the flash fancy websites that sometimes they did work, sometimes they didn't work. Yes. There were also very it was very easy, like to hack them or have a virus on them and so on. And at the same time, the business person who invested like $50,000 on a website, do you know how much money they had on digital advertising budget? Usually $0.
Crazy.
And me and Alexandra, we in order to illustrate this, we were saying it is as if you've built the best mall in the world in the middle of the Sahara Desert
and no
without any roads or signs to it. This is what we were saying to our clients. This is madness. Nobody knows your site is this good. Your product is this good. You have this powerful USP, unique selling proposition. Nobody knows these things because you're not driving traffic and quality traffic to your offer. And this is why we're so passionate and fascinated with our Meatloaf sales strategy that will also be part of your bonuses.
Of your business coaching, yes.
Okay? Because remember, Meet is about meeting yourself, familiarizing yourself with the ideal client. Love is about giving them so much value that they love you anyway. Because you know, from the very beginning, you know that most people will not become your clients, but they can become your potential clients.
Oh,
They can
yes.
become your brand ambassadors,
Yes,
even though they
yes.
haven't paid a single
They
cent.
can spread the
right?
word of mouth.
Spread the word.
Exactly.
Because they are fascinated with the value that they receive from you. And then you have clear, compelling calls to action so that you can turn as much of the love audience as possible into clients, into new business for you.
It is what Grant Cardone said, marketing is senior to sales, meaning that first you have to be so much in love with marketing and design your marketing
Exactly.
outreach to the audience that you want to go, and then the sales will follow. And then when the sales follow, it's why? Because money follows attention, right? So with marketing, we create attention, and when you create attention big enough, you will have the sales that you need to build your business.
Yes.
And this is an ongoing circle.
And not only that, but also you need, this is very important, you need that frequency. You need to be there consistently, and you need, this was a very powerful statement for me, that what Grant said, assume nobody sees it.
Oh, yes.
And
this
how
for me
many
was,
times?
I was wondering, what does it mean?
I had an offer, right, where I sent 4 emails with exactly the same content and just different subject on what we call the unopens, right? The people who didn't open the previous time. And even in the last email, the 4th one, we had sales. Can you imagine that? What if you stopped at number 3 or even number 2 or just
yes,
1?
yes.
Some people just say, oh, I sent an email to my list. No, you sent an email to the whole list. A fraction of it opened that email, and the next day, or depending on your offer, how close your offer is to closing, you can send another email to the unopens. And maybe, just maybe, send an email to those who opened, send an email with a different attitude. And by the way, when I was at Grant Cardone's offices back in November, I saw another thing. In between offices, I saw a huge wall that had a board, I apologize in advance.
Oh, yes, I love
right?
that. It's a big sign.
That
yes.
said, how much time we have? 1 day.
Okay, let's see.
Right now, this is live, right? So
okay, we are live
if
right
you're
now.
watching live, we have 1 day, 14 hours and 30 minutes to go. So, and it is, what is it? 47 minutes in our webinar. I want to apologize in advance. I'm going to send you a lot of emails in the next 40 hours.
Yes.
Why? Because your mind, for some crazy reason, is not on your financial destination and doing the best about it. It is someplace else. And then you wonder at 31st of December why you're not at your financial destination.
You have to really lock your target. Yes.
Going to sales now, I thought it was the next was communication, but now it's a perfect segue for sales.
So too. I think
right?
so too. Yes.
Going to sales now, let us remind you that selling is not necessarily bad as what most people think. You know, Angelo is trying to hook me, with the Unbreakable Business System, and he's pushing me right now. You know what? No, you're pushing. I'm pushing you towards your financial success.
Yes.
And you're resisting it. Because you know what? If you were committed, truly committed, and you had no resistance, you would have said right now, you know what? So many people are on board, like thousands, maybe tens of thousands by now. I don't know the exact number. Number 2, look at what Grant and his team have done in the past few years. No. Literally in their business, because it's that system, right? Look what they've done. What if I get a fraction from it? And right now, because we discussed this with Alexandra, we know that you have many questions in your mind. And if you notice, if you jot down, because we have jotted down many of your questions, all right? And all of them are what? Negative. What if I don't finish the course?
Yes.
What if I don't have the time? What if I need the money that I will invest in the course? What if I need that money like in 15 days from now?
What
if I
it's
don't
like
make
other
it?
courses?
What
Yes.
if it doesn't work for me? All these things. Have you asked yourself, what if this is the game changer?
Exactly.
What if you are finally fully committed on your financial destination and the Unbreakable Business System is simply your vehicle to success because your heart is committed to your success? What if this is the first course that you truly go through and you truly apply and you truly make it a habit and a part of your operating system? What if this course makes things 10 times easier for you?
Exactly. That's the point.
What if this course is the course? Because you know what? Pete Vargas didn't go through the course because there wasn't a course there, but he got the feedback from Grant, right? He got the system from Grant and he went from what, like 1 million to about 25 or something.
25 in a couple
Why?
of years.
Why? Because it is
Crazy.
the system, the game changer.
Yes.
And you know what? It may not be exactly what you want. You may not be a right fit for Grant's attitude and so on, or you might not even like the other speakers. But shouldn't you choose that from the inside to see, as I like to say, think in this specific manner. You want to think inside the box, not outside the box.
Yes, exactly.
Go inside the
the
Unbreakable
box.
Business System and say, yes, I like it. How many times you've said in your life, like, I really don't like this ice cream. I really don't like this food. I really don't like this smoothie. Have you tasted it? No. Then how do you know? Oh, I don't like it.
Yes.
But how do you know? I don't like it. Yes, but how do you know? So, remember, what we're doing here is not trying to convince you to enroll in the Unbreakable Business System. It's to convince you that you are capable of reaching your financial destination.
Exactly.
Wait for it, regardless of investing in the Unbreakable Business System. And most probably, if you go through it like we'll do, things will get much, much easier for you. And you will realize that you've been spending a lot of time, wasting a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of hardship, a lot of tears, a lot of sweat on things that didn't work.
Yes.
And all you needed was what? A system.
A system.
All you
Personally,
needed
for me,
was
that's
clarity.
it. Yes.
And by the way, we are flooded with information. I mean, you can go through YouTube and find almost everything, right? But it has to be packaged in a way that fits your goals. If you want,
and to take you through it step by step.
Start right now.
Yes.
You can start right now and watching videos, binge watching the right videos, not like entertainment, but binge watching personal and business development videos on YouTube until 31st of December, and nothing will change in your business. You don't want that to happen. By the way, this was me back in 2008.
Yes.
Let me remind you the story, right? So I started my own business in spring of 2007, and less than a year later, I was facing bankruptcy already because I thought my enthusiasm was the only thing that I needed to succeed, right? And I was at my office, like with my head down, and I was thinking, like something has to change. And I did this. I literally now I'm getting also very emotional because I remember this vividly, right? I don't know the exact. It has to be something like 17th of July 2008 now.
2000, yes.
So it's before my financial crisis happened, a bit before the global one.
Global economic crisis, yes.
So I just do this, and then I just do that. And I'm saying, like, man, you're here. You will either lower the bar or you will get here. Two choices. Immediately, without hesitation, I couldn't even accept putting the bar not down here. I couldn't accept, no way, I couldn't accept putting the bar here. For me, this would mean death. It's choking me even to say it right now, to lower the bar. It kills me. I don't know if I'm going to succeed, but I'm not lowering the bar. This is what I said back then. Because of my emphatic decision, because I didn't leave any room for, those 15 trillions of cells in my body were aligned. I began the journey of personal development and digital marketing at the same time, two parallel journeys. But you know what? I didn't have a good start because I went head on with personal development. I was fascinated. Oh, this is how this is done, and this is how this is done. And you know what? A few months later, was I better? Yes. Was my business better? No. Because
bigger? No.
I was learning, but I was not applying.
Yes.
So this is the difference maker. When you have a system like this, a carefully crafted system, and by the way, Grant said it from the very beginning, Pete Vargas said it from the very beginning. This is the game changer with this program. It is concise so that you can finish it within 2 weeks.
That's what I wanted to say.
We will all be graduating by February 14th that the Growth conference begins. And this is it. And then all we have for the rest of the year is application and coaching with us on making all these new teachings, turning them into habits. This is it. This is the game changer. Stop binge watching everything and focus only on the things that you need. Remember, to fly an airplane, you need only a few insights. You don't need to know everything about an airplane, the history of aviation and all these things. All you need is, like a dozen of things and you can fly an airplane.
Yes. Now, for me, because as you can understand, and as we describe our business journey, both Angelo and myself, we have applied many courses and many things along the way with one specific intention. And this was our intention now with the Unbreakable Business System. And it also has to do with our age, right? Where you are in life. I want to collapse time and get there faster, right? So this is very important. And one of the, really, for me, it is magical that in 2 weeks you will be done with a business plan and really having set your mind now, this is what I will do this year, and now I go ahead and apply it. This is, for me, having gone through also many, many training courses which lasted a long time, this for me is the magical thing, because everything is also set on the main belief that money loves speed.
Exactly.
Also, the market loves speed. The customers love speed. The competition is fast. We are not in a market anymore where we can sit at our desks and think about it, and analysis paralysis, which, by the way, where is the card? I am very guilty of. Very guilty.
Yes.
Angelo knows this. I'm the analytical, I have to think about it a lot, and this is one of my limiting beliefs I had to leave behind. If I want to have a business, then I need to be much faster on my decisions. I cannot sit around and wait, because by the time I'm thinking about it and analyzing and putting all this scenario, A, I'm burning my mind out. B, I'm more and more hesitating to proceed. And C, in the meanwhile, all the competitors and the other companies have already been running 10 steps ahead of me, right?
So, by now,
for me was
Anthony Morrison said it
in
in the last day, the bonus day. Already, hundreds of my students are halfway through the course.
Yes.
Already.
While doing the challenge.
If you're still thinking about enrolling, you're already behind. Let's face it. I'm not being brutal again. It's not about brutal honesty. It's about accuracy. It's about being accurate where you are. Back in the drawing that I made for you before, I was accurate about my state back in 2008. I wasn't trying, to bring myself even more down. I was accurate. I said, you have to change these things. You have to grow in these areas and so on. And by the way, when we call about, because we're talking about sales now and being, having clear and compelling call to action, because this is also part of our middle of sale bonus coaching that we will be doing with you, right?
Yes.
Remember, the call to action. So I will draw now the journey for you and your success. And I'm not good at drawing. Alexandra is much better at it. But I think
I think
made
you will do
a
fine.
relatively good. Is it good enough? No, I don't know.
What is it?
This is the trophy.
The trophy,
Is
okay.
it? No, it's not. It's poor. Eh?
Okay, this is a trophy, okay?
Okay.
Let's call
So,
it a trophy.
I will. How many stars do I get with this trophy now? Let's say
Three out of five. Okay.
3 out of 5 because it's Alexandra.
Yes.
You would give me 1 out of 5. But let's face it, this is the trophy that you get on 31st of December if you do your job right and you achieve your financial destination. And of course, whether we know it or not right now, right, there is a way to get there. Definitely. So many. If you want to become a millionaire, somebody else has become a millionaire. I think I've checked. Last time I've checked, it was about, I don't know, some 20 million millionaires or something in the US.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but there are plenty, right? So we're in Greece, so we don't count. So this is the journey to get from where you are to where you want to go on 2023 to achieve your financial goal, right? Good. Someone selling the Unbreakable Business System to you means they helped you take this next step. Because you're here and you say, whoa, this is too far. But once you hook yourself with another vehicle, you leave the bicycle that me and Alexandra had for years, and we take on an unbreakable motor, an unbreakable supercar instead of a bicycle. You can get there faster. You can get there easier. You can make less mistakes. You can be more focused. You can believe more in yourself. You can have an unbreakable mindset. You can have an unbreakable communication system. You can have an unbreakable sales team. You can have unbreakable scaling that we've struggled so many times in the past. And simply thinking, this was a poor belief that since we have the technology in our minds, it cannot be replicated. Everything can be replicated. Much more complicated things that what we've been doing have been replicated, but it was simply we didn't give the time, the energy, and the money to make that happen.
Exactly. And can you hold up your very nice drawing again?
You can use it.
Okay. So what I wanted to say now that Angelo says this, and we're going into the scaling part right now. On the scaling part, you remember Brandon Dawson, he said, the earlier the status of a business, so I mean right here, sorry, I was not entirely on camera, right here, the more the breakpoints.
Oh, yes.
So
very important.
Avoid these breakpoints. Have other people who have done this journey show you the way, show you how to avoid the pitfalls, the objects that you will be facing. It's part of the journey, and know how to surpass them, right?
Yes, and when it comes to scaling, always remember this, that even if your goal is to become a billionaire, remember that you do not necessarily have to see the whole path. Right?
The story with the example with the car headlights.
The headlights, right?
Yes.
So when you're driving at night, or even in the morning time, right? When we head to our beach house in the south of Greece, it's about 250 kilometers. I don't know, it's about 150 miles, right? So, do we see the whole path? No. We see some meters or feet ahead every single time. But we get there because what? There is a system to get us there. There are signs. We have a GPS if we get lost. If it was the first time.
There's a road.
Yeah.
There's a road.
Right?
Exactly.
And sometimes what? We get off road, right? To put some gas or to have a snack or to simply, do some sightseeing. You know what? The GPS can bring us back. The system is what gets you there. Exactly. Always. Your heart, this determination to achieve is all that. This cannot be taught, basically. This has to come from you, from within. This is why we say that no system is good enough if you are not good enough. And this is why with Alexandra, our bonuses are so focused on having your state right every single moment. because we've been there. It is very easy to suck into your old habits
Yes.
because they carry a lot of momentum. And it is important to remember that you will be always the game changer. So someone says, oh, I read this book. Someone told me I read this book and it changed my life. And I bought this book and it was crap, it's worthless.
For the same book, right?
The same book.
Two people, the
Why?
same book, yes.
Is it a good book or a bad book? It depends on the reader. Is it a good program or a bad program? It depends on the reader. I remember many times, it was back in, 2010, one of our first affiliate launches, and we met one of the customers. He was an amazing guy. He was struggling a lot for his family. Nothing worked. His family was struggling financially a lot, but he took the leap. And it was not a $997 program. It was a $2,997. It was 3 times as expensive, but he took
and back then, right?
the leap.
Yes.
He took the leap. I don't know how he summoned the money. He managed to do it. He took the leap. And the other day, he managed to get a $15,000 check simply because his state changed. He didn't even log in. He didn't go through the program.
He took the
But
decision.
he was so committed that
yes.
this is what I'm going to do.
Yes.
He got inspired and changed his physique, his state so much that he managed to get a $15,000 check the day after signing up.
Amazing story.
It's an amazing story.
Isn't that amazing? Can you imagine what can happen when you couple your heart's desire for business success, for growth and contribution, for putting something which is really valuable and meaningful to you right out there in the market, helping other people find solutions to their problems? Couple this with a powerful, proven system that has been tested for all of Grant Cardone's companies for many years now. So there is no room for error in this system. Can you imagine how much in the flow you can get with this, how much faster you can reach your goals and then be ready to set new goals, higher goals?
There are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people who are looking for Unbreakable Challenge reviews on YouTube right now. Unbreakable Challenge review, Unbreakable Business System review, Unbreakable Challenge review, Unbreakable Business System review, Unbreakable Challenge review, Unbreakable Business System review, and they don't do a self-review. I am not that committed. This is why I'm not getting my best. I am getting distracted. This is why I'm not getting my best. I don't believe in myself enough. This is why I'm not getting my best. I said I will, but I didn't. This is why I'm not getting my best. And immediately, a brand new world appears in front of your very eyes simply because, I know this is a hard exercise, but simply because you did it, now you have something that is infinitely more valuable than the program. You have your power back.
Yes.
And now this is the trifecta. This is what you need to succeed in 2023. You need
the most important.
You need your super self. You need your inner fire rekindled. This is why Grant is saying, have a goal that is truly meaningful to you. It has an impact in your life, not $100 more, right?
You will not move for $100.
You won't change for that amount. Have a goal that will rekindle your inner fire. Exactly. Have a system. It could be the Unbreakable Business System. It could be something else, but you need guidance. And then you need what? You need coaching. Our coaching along the way, because we will make sure you will not fall back into the old patterns. Right. This is our number one goal with you. And you know what? We're saying how much time we have now?
How much time? Because Angelo mentioned our bonuses. So if you want to claim them, you can scan this QR code.
Still, you have 1 day, 14 hours, 9 minutes, and some seconds. But you know what? It's, I think, like 3 clicks away. Why wait?
Yes.
By tomorrow, by the time this counter hits zero, you can get done with at least module one and have an
Oh,
unbreakable
yes.
mindset. Tomorrow, that time tomorrow, you could be done with module one at least and have an even more unbreakable mindset. How about that?
Just by that you said it,
I
I
know
get
that
moved
so many
really.
people will sign up in the very last hour, and maybe they will miss on the bonuses because by the time they decide to sign up, I don't
Yeah,
know,
the
the
bonuses will
traffic
be
so
gone.
much that
Yes.
their server will go down or whatever. Why do that on yourself? Do you want to reach your financial destination or not? Do you want it to do it by yourself? Trial and error? Free YouTube videos that I don't know if they will work for me or not?
Hmm.
Or you want a proven system, right? That helped Grant reach billions, not millions, right? What do you want? How do you want to go about achieving your financial success?
Okay, now you made me think about a very nice question which you can ponder on. The version of yourself that has already achieved the financial goal by the end of this year. What did he or she decide? Did they take the system, yes or no? Did they act fast, yes or no? Did they open the course immediately as soon as they got in their login data so that to proceed immediately? Did they follow the rest of the class and the mentors and all the extra coaching calls? Did they attend GrowthCon digitally? Because, by the way, you have a ticket for GrowthCon, which is an amazing business event when buying the Unbreakable Business System. Write the answers down now. And it was TD Jake said, study the next version of you and act from that level.
Yes.
All of us, we are reincarnating all the time into new versions of ourselves in order to reach new levels of success. This is what Grant Cardone says. He says the main reason why I'm putting this seemingly to everybody else big goals is very simple, because I want to reach a new version of me, to unlock more potential, to unlock more heart, to unlock more drive, to see what I can do, to take other people with me. How amazing is that?
Yes, and now I got a bit emotional because
Yes,
we
I
had
said.
we had we had a Skype
And now I
call.
get emotional when I see you emotional. Okay.
We had a Skype call like 5, 6 years back with one of our mentors, and he said that what Alexandra said right now. You've had many reincarnations in the past couple of years, and I thought, wow.
Yes.
When we ended the call, I contemplated on this, and I said, wow. You have really changed. You have let go so many things. You have really changed. And why you're doing this now? Why you're not bothered with this now? Why even the biggest failure cannot touch you? And this is why I told you on a previous video we did with self-confidence, we told you the secretariat story. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. This is a very powerful story. And I realized that I am unbreakable, unstoppable.
Mhm.
This was my definition because everything changes from the very beginning. Remember, if you have like a supercar and a very cheap small car next to it, and I will use two specific cars because they're from the same company, so nobody will think, I'm promoting this, that, or the other. If you have like a Ferrari and a Fiat Cinquecento, right? Very small car and a supercar, and they both belong to Fiat right now, so this is why I'm saying this. It's not that they tried to build a supercar and they failed. They made a Cinquecento, a car that will be in the US. I mean, we've traveled to the US. We know how big cars are there. I mean, it's almost as big as a smart car, right? This is like how big it is. Why? Why is that? It's the design stage. So everything begins right now with you. Where are you going? Are you going for the million? Are you going for the 8 figures? Are you going for the billion? Or are you going for another year, like just? Are you going for another break even year? 97% of companies fail or are facing basically failure. Why is that? Because they don't have like a job description. At the very beginning, I'm going to crush it. And whatever is missing along the way, as I like to say, the only fixed point in the whole universe is my destination. Everything else can and will change. I'm not going to go through the Unbreakable Business System with Alexandra and say, oh, here we do it better than Grant. No. If you do it better than Grant, you must demonstrate better results than Grant.
Exactly.
This is what I've been saying like 10 years ago. I can do it better than Tony Robbins. Really? Then why are tens of thousands at his event and 2 at your event? Why is that? Because you don't. And then, of course, we got what? Accurate with where we are. And this is where things start to change.
Yes.
So decide on the vehicle you need to get to your destination and make sure it fits. Because no matter how hard you pedal, you cannot go with a bike to the moon.
Exactly.
You need a spaceship. You need a good spaceship, a safe, proven spaceship, right? That will get you there in the time frame that you have decided for yourself and your business and your family.
If you are feeling at all like scared or uncomfortable, or this is out of my comfort zone, but still I have this dream.
It should be.
I know I can feel you. I've been in your shoes. I really understand. And if you feel, but maybe I don't have the confidence to do this, finally I have the dream, but I don't know, then borrow the confidence from Grant Cardone and his team. Borrow the confidence from the mentor. Borrow their success stories. Ride along with them. They will show us the way, right?
Yes. And by the way, we missed intentionally left communication.
Yes.
But I believe that the number one goal for your improvement, the upgrade of your communication is to communicate better your goal, your target, your destination to yourself.
Yes. First and
start
foremost
by
yourself.
selling the goal, the
Yes.
target to yourself, and then everything else will change for you. Have the most clear and the most compelling call to action. Find the words that will truly impact yourself. When we discuss with Alexandra, sometimes we say, you know what, I don't feel it. I don't feel it yet. We talk about a big goal and we realize that we are kind of committed. We definitely want to grow to that direction, but our heart is not telling this yet. And you know that when that happens, at some point you will give up. Where when you communicate your destination to yourself in a way that you feel truly unbreakable, you don't need anything else. You're blinded to everything else, and all you see is your destination.
And how do you do that? You write down your why.
Exactly.
And you go deep on your why, right?
And you make sure every word matters.
Yes, every word
matters. Word touches, like strikes a chord
of your heart,
of your consciousness,
exactly.
Of your soul, of your heart.
And by the way, the goal and the why, you can write them down every day. Even Grant Cardone says he writes down his goals every morning and every evening. Yeah. Despite the fact that he is so super focused during the entire day and much more effective than
and
the
of
rest
course,
of us,
the fun part
does it.
That you use both hands to write down your goals.
Yes, I like that very much.
It's very fun. It is also very fun to notice how better you become at writing with the non-dominant hand. It's very fun to watch this progress.
Go through this process, make your decision. The market, as Grant says, loves speed, money loves speed, and also it is a matter of just deciding, this is my year, I will go for it, I'm excited,
exactly.
I love this, and I will just charge through this.
So now I see we've went under 38 hours. But you know, I have another challenge for you. Could you sign up in the next 38 seconds? The ones who sign up in the next 38 seconds, I believe, are the ones who are truly committed. If you're not committed, you will sign up maybe a bit later. But if you sign up within the next 38 seconds, you know that you are committed. So this is not a call to action. This is just a demonstration of commitment because you know what? This is all it takes.
Exactly.
Remember, we did another video on the pause button that ruined my
Yes.
life. Yes, there is no pause button in life. Unfortunately for us, time passes by for all of us relentlessly at a pace of 1 second per second. And remember, the more fire you have within, the faster you move. And this does not mean that you're more stressed. In fact, if you are in the flow, you're more relaxed, right? Stress comes from your resistance, not from the bigger goal. By the way, for your subconscious, there is no small or big anyway. $1 and $1 billion are equally the same, are the same.
Yes.
There is no scale without a point of reference, and your consciousness is your point of reference. Once you upgrade your consciousness and you see things differently, if you remember the Empire State Building example that we used, the higher you go, the more of New York you see, right? So this is the game changer. Upgrade your consciousness. This is why we did this review differently. We wanted to review our consciousness, not the program, because this will help you see things differently, and then you can have a clear and informed decision. And I'm almost sure that I speak for more than 38 seconds, so by now you know how committed you are. If you're not committed, don't review the program, review you. Review your level of commitment, review how passionate you are about giving a better life to you and your family, how committed you are to doing so. And
yes.
You know what? I will give you like an exit strategy. You, in the next 38 seconds, you can either sign up or send us your question. What is your objection? You can reply to any of our emails. You can send us on like Messenger, TikTok, Instagram, whatever you want. Send us your question. Send us what is between you and your next financial level.
Exactly. And also there's another perspective that is very meaningful always to us, and I think it will help you also reach a decision. It is not only about your own financial achievement and taking care of yourself, your family, your friends. It is about offering a solution to your clients. Either if you have a physical product to offer or a service to offer, have you ever contemplated that there are so many people out there
Yes.
that wake up like at 3 in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., and they toss and turn in their bed because they cannot figure out a solution to a specific problem that they have, and you have already overcome this problem and you have the solution and you're keeping it to yourself. Or you just told 2 of your best friends and that's it.
And you
Think
know,
of that perspective. It is a bigger picture, it is a bigger and higher level of awareness, and it is the thing that can propel you forward to really take action and then reach your goals.
And you know what? When I told you the story about my state, my near bankruptcy state in the summer of 2008, I wasn't thinking about my family. I wasn't thinking about my friends. I wasn't thinking about my clients. I was only thinking about myself. And in the bigger financial trouble you are, the more selfish you become. And so many people mock, like millionaires and billionaires, and you are amassing so much money, like so many people are poor and hurting and so on. I mean, Warren Buffett and all these people have donated already tens of billions of dollars. And I'm asking myself sometimes, okay, I have a lot of work to do, right?
Yes.
To get there, to donate like 10 billion. So until then, I'm only learning. I am the student.
Exactly.
When I donate more than Warren Buffett, maybe I can teach him how to donate even more.
Yes.
But definitely, I will never, ever see this from the premise of amassing money is like the wrong way. By the way, going back to what we said in the very beginning, why did you feel great during the challenge? Why did you feel inspired, empowered, and more clear to where you want to go? Because Grant and all the other speakers resonated at a higher frequency than you.
Yes, that's attractive. You
And
want to be
if
around
they
them.
didn't, you wouldn't be attracted by this
Mm-hmm.
challenge. By the way, Stormy Wellington said that perfectly. Perfectly. She said, I find the Unbreakable Business System, I find it, the price, I find it low.
I find it low. Yes.
I'm not attracted by it. Because if you are a multi 8-figure millionaire, and maybe even more by now, you're not attracted by a 1K program.
Product.
How
Yeah.
much more can it do for
Split
you?
it to 7
You're
installments.
attracted by what? By a 100K or 250
Mm-hmm.
mastermind. You're attracted by these kind of programs that will get you to the next and the next level. You're attracted maybe by a $1 million coaching that, like Tony Robbins can do for you and so on. This is the game-changing attitude. Always remember, Grant said it, right? If you feel that 1K is too much,
Yes, I was going
how
to say.
on earth you will get to 1 mil? If you think 3 zeros is enough, is a lot of money, if you think this is a lot of money, how on earth will you do this by the end of the year? This is the game changer. To shift your attitude and say, you know what? It's not that much money. The Unbreakable Business System and all the bonuses and everything else is not that much. What am I thinking about? I realize now. I am not in disbelief about the program.
Mm-hmm.
I am in disbelief about myself. And you know what? This is what we've said before. You are not going there on your own.
Exactly, that's the whole
Once
point.
you sign up, once you make that next
Yes.
step, in that next step, and as you open the door of the Unbreakable Business System ecosystem, digital ecosystem, because this is how amazing is the era that we live in, right? You don't have to travel anywhere.
You don't have to wait for a box to be shipped to you.
Exactly. Do you remember?
In 1 second?
I mean,
yes.
If you follow online courses like we do for over a decade now, for about 15 years
15
now,
years,
right?
Yes.
Back then, you had to wait for the DVD.
Yes, and the workbook.
I remember I invested in a course, and it had like 6 modules. And module number 3 and module number 4 had the same disc, the disc number 3. So disc number 4 was missing, and I had to wait for another month because we're in Greece, and we don't have the best mail in the world for sure, right? So I had to wait. No, you sign up, and there it is. Boom.
And
Available
it is amazing,
to you.
by the way. The portal is amazing. It is
Yeah.
so easy to navigate. All the lessons are broken down into small segments. It's very easy to digest. It's very easy to follow. The amount of bonuses is insane.
Yes, but my point now is that you're not alone, right? This is my point.
Exactly.
So all you need is that next step, and then you can work virtually, right? I know, but you will be coached live by Grant next week, and Pete Vargas, and Brandon Dawson on scaling, live coaching, right? And then you will have that at your disposal as well. And you will be coached by us on breaking your financial limiting beliefs, on putting all these teachings into effect, on making sure you will not roll back to your old limiting beliefs. We're in this together. So all the self-confidence that you're lacking is filled up with our support. And we are committed to this. I don't know if you can see it in my eyes. We're very committed. You can zoom in as much as you want without batting an eyelash. I always love that phrase from Zig Ziglar.
Yes.
Right? And at the end of the day, you can taste this dish, as I said before, for 30 days and decide whether it is right for you or not. So basically, there's no thing to talk. What are we talking about for 1 hour and a half? It is done.
It is done.
You're already there. See yourself at your financial destination. Contemplate on that feeling. As we like to call it, the happy landing exercise. Stay there for a few minutes. resonate with that frequency, amplify that frequency, put more logs in the fire, and realize that you're there. Feel it. Don't think of it. Don't think of the 1 million
You're
or
right,
whatever it
right.
is. Think from it. It is 31st of December, 2023, and it is done. You have realized your financial goal. How does that feel? Now go back here to February 2nd and realize that the journey includes a more empowering mindset and a more empowering skill set. If you have a better suggestion, a better plan than what Grant is offering, I want to know about it.
Yes.
Sell it to me.
Yes.
I cannot see any better plan to go forward and scale and 10x my business this year. This is why we are committed about it. We're not trying to oversell you to it because you know by now we've done the journey with you in the last 90 minutes. And this is why we've worked on you, not on the program. You will find so many reviews of the Unbreakable Business System. We didn't want to have just another one. We wanted to review ourselves and you. And I firmly believe, as we wrap up, I firmly believe that we truly have managed to work together on our better selves in the last 90 minutes. And maybe you got a very small taste of what our coaching with you will be in the whole year to come once you sign up with the Unbreakable Business System. Alexandra will tell you for sure that I cannot leave you where you are.
Yes, that's his thing.
It's my thing. If you bring on your excuses, if you bring on your resistance, it's going to be a battle that you have to accept that your sloppy self will lose. I put all my money from now on your super self, and your sloppy self has no chance. If you think your excuses are enough, if you think what has happened in the past for you is enough to convince me that you cannot achieve your financial goal, no way. I will put so much firepower on your super self that your sloppy self will be smashed. It will be over. Game over. Knock down, knock out. I don't know how it's called, but game over. It is done. Because you know what? This is what you deserve. This is what you can have. And it is time to have it. This is your year. Pete Vargas said something about Michael Jordan. And I was mesmerized when I heard it because this is what I thought like in the late 2022. Wow, 2023, Air Jordan, we're going to fly in 2023. This is it. Slam dunk, 10x.
Exactly.
It is done.
Exactly.
This is all that comes to your mind. And then everything else fits into place. Any last words?
No, you said it perfectly. And I just want to remind you, there are still some hours left. You can make your decision, right?
Yeah.
And we hope we helped you realize some things and this will help you move forward with any decision that you make.
So if you haven't done so already, you can scan our QR code here or the one that Alexandra showed in the amazing.
Time. Here it is.
So still 1 day, 13 hours and 45 minutes, but I'm sure enough you will sign up in the next few seconds because you are committed to your financial destination. We really thank you for your time and your attention and participation. If you still have questions, ask them now. In almost a day and a half, this whole offer will be gone. And we will be focusing entirely on the people who signed up. And we truly want you to be with us, and we will be working together on making financial visions into financial realities.
Beautiful.
So, very nice talking to you again. And we hope that you sign up at least before our next webinar. So, talk to you soon. Ciao, ciao.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.